So I want to talk to you about the murder itself. So you heard mention in the Dead Op, or the Foolio Dead drill rap video by Spinabins and Wappa with the Choppa, the one that started with the blue screen. What you're looking at on the upper part of that screen, you can see Embassy Suites, USF, you can see the USF Research Park. That's Fowler, and that is the main entrance to the University of South Florida's campus. This is all just to the east of Bruce B. Downs, right? To the lower part, you have an extension of 40th Street, which becomes McKinley. And right there in the corner, you heard them mentioning Holiday Inn, which is running horizontal. Next to it is a vertical building. That is the Home to Suites. And it is on the very south end, or the bottom of the photograph, on that vertical building. There is a portico there, an entrance to that hotel. That is where the shooting in this case occurs. Now, in this photograph, you can see on the far left, there is a La Quinta Inn. That becomes relevant in the state's case because one of these high-powered rifle rounds went all the way across and went through and into a room, and there was recovered projectiles. This is more of a close-up. Now, on the bottom of the photograph, you can see, to the bottom right, you can see an entrance into the Home to Suites parking lot from McKinley. And you can see right at the bottom of the building a square offset. That is the roof of the portico, the entrance to the hotel. Just a more close-up photograph. So I want to walk through several videos with you that were recovered in the investigation by the Tampa Police Department here in Tampa that show what's occurring. Unfortunately, my laser pointer is not, well, maybe it will. It actually is working a little bit. Okay, usually LED screens will absorb the laser. So you're going to see here, you're going to see the Dodge Charger, Mr. Jones Dodge Charger, pulling into the portico. And you can see up here, that's a few minutes off. It's actually around 4:34, 4:35 a.m. in the morning. It's June 23rd of 2024. But he's pulling into that portico, having just turned off southbound McKinley. You can see here, this is a Hyundai that'll go down, turn around, and come up behind him. That's being driven by Armani, who is his, Armani Turner, excuse me, who is his girlfriend.
But yes,
I can't see the laser.
Oh, yeah.
it
Yeah.
doesn't work great on the LED screen.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So
What you're describing, I can't.
Yeah, I
don't
thought
know
that
what
might
you're
happen, Your Honor, with the jurors in the back
that's fine.
row.
So just, Mr. Harmer will try and be as descriptive as he can, okay?
Yeah. So if you're looking at the car with the tail lights lit up, that's the Hyundai on the top of the screen. That's outside of the portico. It's going to continue in the direction it's pointing. It'll do a U-turn, a sharp U-turn, and pull in right behind Charles Jones' Dodge Charger. Mr. Jones is in the front passenger seat. The car is being driven by his friend Xavier Edwards. The car that is sitting there already in the portico belongs to an employee. That's unrelated to the case. And this steaming coming off there, that's coming from the building. It has nothing to do with the cars. You're going to see Mr. Jones. He's wearing a red knit cap. He's wearing a white t-shirt. You will see him exit the Charger and walk into the hotel. So what happens is, while they were out that night, he had made a reservation, but because they arrived so late, it was given away. In this video, you'll see him return. In some instances, the video is being accelerated slightly, like right now. there's a car pulling in to the parking lot and going northbound. That becomes very relevant, and I'll explain that in a few minutes. This car, a Nissan Altima, is being driven by two of Mr. Jones' friends. They had gone around to the other side of the hotel and were just coming back. You're going to see an individual named Taifa McCrae and Miss Albritton, who is dressed in a all-pink suit, who are friends of Mr. Jones. They exit and they go into the hotel to use the restroom, and they're actually inside the lobby when the shooting occurs. When Taifa got out of the front seat of the Altima, another young lady, Camilla Bentley, slid in behind him in the front seat. Now you're going to see another car come by. This is a small silver Chevy Cruze. This, you will find in the evidence, is the surveillance tracker vehicle that was utilized by these conspirators, by these defendants, to follow, to track and stalk Mr. Jones and his friends, giving real-time, by communications, by phone, real-time location data and information about where he would be. This car passes by, being driven by defendant Isaiah Chance, his girlfriend. You saw her earlier. Miss Andrews is in the front passenger seat. The assault team is already present on the west side of the hotel. That was the car that had pulled in earlier and went northbound and did not pass the portico. This is a mounted camera, by the way, folks, on the hotel that's facing east-southeast. If you look in the upper right part of the screen by the two palm trees, you're going to see, right before the shooting happens, a masked individual's face pop out. The evidence in this case will show that is defendant Rashad Murphy. He is the Glock shooter. This is the beginning of the, well, actually it's not. First we're going to see the Chevy Cruze come by. And then the Chevy Cruze will do a three-point turn. You'll see that in other video evidence shortly, and it turns around and goes back out. And now it's exiting. Mr. Chance drives right past the victim and exits the parking lot of the hotel literally within seconds of the murder occurring and starting. You will see him exiting to the right, going southbound on McKinley. The evidence will show that he goes down, he does a U-turn and comes back north on McKinley and passes the hotel just before the shooting begins. There's the shooter. Xavier Edwards tries to escape from the shooting. You can see the other two cars, one being driven by Camilla Bentley, who's going forward, the other one being driven by Armani Turner, who's going backwards. In their haste to flee from the shooting, they actually collide with each other, and they both end up going southbound on McKinley. They go different directions. Now, this is what I was talking about, where by the palm trees you will see a head pop out right before the full appearance of the shooters. That is Rashad Murphy. You will see another shooter run over to that tree just to the center of the video screen, just to the right of that Lexus SUV. The evidence will show in this case that that is defendant Gathright. On the top of the screen, you see a Mercedes SUV and a yellow car, and you see an individual moving around. The evidence will show that is the defendant, Davion Murphy, who was firing. And you can see in this evidence that Mr. Edwards attempts desperately to flee from these shooters, but what he actually does is he drives directly into a crossfire, a vortex, if you will, of high-powered rifle fire. The car flees down the west side of the hotel, heading north. Now, just around the corner, wrapping around to the west side of the hotel, the attack team parks the car. They get out and move into position coming around to that corner. As they move through there, they pass a Tesla.